Hi third graders. The read aloud I'm going to do today is called Cece Loves Science. And I chose it because we're not really doing science right now. Maybe you're doing a little bit of science at home, but we're not doing science together in school. So I thought this would be a good one. I want you to look real closely and think what, or actually who wrote this book, and then who drew the pictures or the illustrations. Look kind of closely. And I'm not really trying to trick you, but there are actually two authors to this book. So Kimberly Derting and Shelli R. Johannes. And then also the illustrator is right down here, Vashti Harrison. So Vashti drew the pictures to this book. While we read, I want you to think to yourself about the word curious. So Cece, she is a very curious child. And so I want you to think, what does the word curious mean? And you have throughout the whole book to kind of think about it, okay? So let's start. Cece loved to ask questions. Her mother said her first word was why. Her father said it was how, but her favorite question was what if. You would make a great scientist, Cece, said her teacher, Miss Curie, because science is all about asking questions. Do fish ever get thirsty? Cece wanted to know. They do, said Miss Curie. Do hummingbirds really hum? The sound comes from their wings, said Miss Curie. Here's her thinking about all the things she's asking about right here. Oh no, a thirsty fish. What if we all jumped at the same time? Would the earth move? Good question, said Miss Curie. I think we should investigate. Uh-oh, what do you think? Miss Curie told Cece and her friends about famous scientists from history, such as Caroline Herschel, Thomas Edison, George Washington Carver, and Jane Goodall. She also introduced them to many different sciences. Geology is the study of Earth, biology is the study of living things, and entomology is the study of insects. So right here, the suffix ology means the study of. So if you're talking about geology, you're talking about the study of rocks. Biology is the study of living things. And entomology, which I didn't know until right now, is the study of insects. One day, Miss Curie told everyone to pair up. For our next project, I'd like you to pick a science you are curious about and come up with a question to investigate, she said. Cece and her best friend Isaac were a team. They both loved zoology, which is the study of animals. Now they just needed to think of an interesting question. First, they brainstormed a bunch of ideas. Science is all about possibilities. Is a bear ticklish? Cece asked. Do we really want to find out? Said Isaac. Do pigs know they are smelly? Cece asked. Only a pig can answer that, Isaac said. Keep thinking, said Miss Curie. A scientist thinks outside the box and never, ever gives up. Third graders, remember when I was talking about figurative versus literal language? Well, right here it says a scientist thinks outside the box. Do we think scientists literally sit outside of a box thinking? Probably not. So this is really good figurative language. A scientist thinks outside the box. Think about that. What do you think that means? I don't want to give you the answer, so think about what does thinking outside the box mean? That night at dinner, Cece was explaining the project to her parents when her dog Einstein jumped up and started eating the food right off the plate. Einstein down, said Cece's mother. Cece giggled. Her plate was licked clean except for the broccoli. Look what Einstein did, she said. I guess neither of you like your veggies, her dad said, laughing. This observation gave Cece a great idea. Einstein could be their science project. Cece called Isaac. I've got it. Let's find out if dogs eat vegetables. Cool, said Isaac. Cece couldn't wait to get started. There he is. The next day after school, Cece and Isaac headed straight to Cece's lab to work on their project. And here's their sheet from their teacher. They are studying zoology, the study of animals, and their brainstorm ideas. Is a bear ticklish? Do pigs think they stink? And do fish sleep? What is the question that they decided on? Well, they decided to figure out if dogs eat vegetables. Their test subject, dogs related to the wolf, coyote. List some fun facts about your subject. Einstein. He's named after Albert Einstein. He weighs 40 pounds. His color is gray and his eyes are brown. What do we do first? Asked Isaac. Let's observe our subject, Cece said. Observation. Doggy treats. Guarantee 100% participation, said Cece. Excellent data, said Isaac. That's kind of funny because when I give you guys treats at school, I definitely think I get 100% participation. Just like how when they give their dog treats, they get 100% participation too. Isaac and Cece watched Einstein eat. They watched Einstein drink. They even watched Einstein sleep. Sometimes science was all about waiting and waiting and waiting for something really cool to happen. From our observations, we know Einstein loves to eat kibble and doggy treats, said Cece. Now we just need to investigate our question, said Isaac. Do dogs eat vegetables? I already know Einstein doesn't like broccoli, said Cece. I don't either. Let's test some different veggies, said Isaac. It's experiment time, said Cece. Finally! The next worksheet says, what are your observations? He eats, drinks, and sleeps. He loves to eat his kibble. He doesn't like broccoli. He jumps on the table. Doggy treats guarantee 100% participation. Experiment, what variables are you going to test? So they are going to test carrots, beans, and cucumbers. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that Einstein's going to eat the carrots, beans, or cucumbers? Cece and Isaac tried carrots, beans, and cucumbers. Einstein turned up his nose at each one. Uh-oh. What if we disguise the vegetables with bacon and ketchup? Isaac asked. This time, Einstein was interested. He ate the bacon and licked the ketchup off the vegetables. Well, that means he likes bacon and ketchup, said Cece. What if we just mix up vegetables with his kibble? Asked Isaac. I bet he won't even know the difference, said Cece. Einstein ate all his kibble but left the vegetables in the bottom of his bowl. Einstein might not eat vegetables, but he sure is smart, Cece said. Cece gave Einstein a treat and rubbed his ears. Good boy, she said. She looked at Isaac and shrugged. Now what? We're supposed to interpret our data, said Isaac. Einstein definitely loves to eat, said Cece. He sure doesn't like broccoli, said Isaac. He doesn't like any vegetables, asked Cece. Not even if we cover them in bake-up. I combined the two words, bacon and ketchup. Whoops. Even if we cover them in bacon and ketchup, said Isaac. I guess Einstein is a picky eater, said Cece. Going back up to this word, we're definitely supposed to interpret our data, said Isaac. Interpret our data means to understand it. So we're supposed to understand our data, said Isaac. So they kind of want to see, okay, what have we looked at so far and what can we make sense of? Here they are in their kitchen or in their lab. Miss Curie's science project worksheet continued. Interpret your data. Eats bacon, ketchup, and kibble. Ignores hidden vegetables. Einstein is a picky eater. Result, doesn't like veggies. Carrots, beans, cucumbers. That night at dinner, Cece was so disappointed she didn't even finish her dessert. Maybe I'm not a real scientist after all, she said. Our project was boring. I thought you asked a great question, her dad said. Einstein put his paws up on the table and sniffed Cece's banana split. Einstein, Cece giggled. Naughty puppy. Her mother laughed and pulled Einstein away. He may not eat vegetables, she said, but he sure likes bananas. That's when Cece remembered something Miss Curie always said. Scientists think outside the box. What if we create a secret recipe using bananas? She asked. Cece and Isaac rushed home after school and mixed together carrots, beans, cucumbers, and bananas in a blender. Are those still veggies? Asked Isaac. Yup, said Cece. They're just in a different form. Gross, Isaac said, wrinkling his nose. Cece poured the mixture into Einstein's bowl. How about a special smoothie? She asked, patting his head. At first, Einstein looked confused. He circled the bowl. He sniffed the bowl. Then he got down on his belly and wagged his tail. And then he slurped down the entire thing. Look, he loves it, said Isaac. In science, not all results are totally predictable. Einstein does eat vegetables when we mix them with bananas, said Cece. And that's when Cece made the most extraordinary observation of all. Science isn't just about asking questions. Real scientists have fun finding answers too. Okay, so here is the last worksheet, I'm guessing, that Miss Curie gave them. So let's read it together. So the science is zoology, remember, the study of animals. And there's all their brainstorm ideas. Test subject was Einstein. He's 40 pounds, gray with brown eyes. They found out what he likes. They found out what he did not like at first. And then during their second experiment, they added bananas and they mixed with veggies to make a smoothie. When they had to interpret or understand their data, they found that he eats bacon, ketchup, and kibble, ignores hidden vegetables, and he's a very picky eater. And the result, so the outcome, was that he didn't like veggies, carrots, beans, cucumbers. But then they went and crossed that out because now they realize Einstein does eat vegetables when we mix them with bananas. I'm guessing Einstein really likes bananas. Cece's science facts. So here it has a bunch of words that you might not know. And what they mean, so the definition. So let's look at a few of them. So biology, the very first one on the page, the study of living things that includes plants, animals, and fungi. It also includes bacteria and viruses, which can make us sick. Gross. Brainstorm, to come up with tons of awesome ideas. I know we do that in class quite a bit. Data, a collection of facts for an experiment. Let's look at entomology, because that's kind of a long word. The branch of zoology that studies insects. So zoology studies animals, and entomology specifically studies insects. Experiment, a scientific test to investigate questions and find answers. Geology, the study of Earth and what it's made of. George Washington Carver, which was one of the scientists they mention in the book, says that he studied botany, the study of plants, and was known as the plant doctor. And actually, if you listen to my other read aloud about the word collector, I actually had my friend, Miss Celia, she read some of the pages of that book, and she's a botanist. She actually studies plants. So that's pretty cool. She teaches me a lot of stuff about them. Interpret, a word that we talked about, means to explain the meaning of information that has been collected. So to find the meaning and to understand what you have discovered. Investigate, to discover and examine facts. Jane Goodall, she was another one of the scientists that they mentioned. She is an expert on chimpanzees. She even lived with them in Tanzania, which is in Africa. Let's see, what else can we find down here? Observation, information you gather by watching something or someone. Oh my gosh, Tommy just wants all the attention right now. And results are the outcome, which sometimes can be totally unexpected. Scientist is a person who studies science. Test subject. Now this is kind of tricky because subject we think of as like math, ELA, reading, but a test subject is a person, place, or thing that is being tested. So in this book, the test subject was Einstein, the dog. Thomas Edison was another inventor that they put on this book, an inventor famous for inventing the phonograph. That's a record player. The motion picture camera for making movies, and the light bulb. Variable, a part of an experiment that could be changed in order to test out a hypothesis. Now a hypothesis, very fancy word right here, is kind of like a guess. Zoology is the studies of animal and animal life. And that is it. Now I want you to take a look at these 2 pages. Your assignment for me, which I hope that you take part in, is choose a word from this page or this page. So I'm going to leave them up for a little bit so you can find a word. I think Tommy's looking for one right now, aren't you, Tommy? And then I want you to use the word that you find in a sentence. So for example, if I chose to use the word observation, then I would write out a sentence with the word observation in it. And you can either write it to me on Class Dojo, or you could take a picture and send it to me on Class Dojo. Okay, you can choose whichever word from these 2 pages that you like. Hopefully you've had enough time looking at them. If you need to pause the video to look for a little bit longer, that's absolutely fine. And then I'm going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to talk about the word curious, because remember I said, think about what the word curious means as we read Cece Loves Science. So she is a very curious girl. She likes to ask a lot of questions. So be thinking, what do you think the word curious means? And I just gave you a big clue. And when you think you know, give me a shout out on Class Dojo. What do you think the word curious means? Okay, that is it for right now. I'm going to show you Tommy's face. He's going to say goodbye. Are you, Tommy? And we say good luck. Okay, bye, 3rd graders. See you soon.